So the next question you'll probably have is, why frames and not just groups in Figma? Because in Figma, we could simply group elements by selecting them and hitting Command and G. So let's have a closer look at this. Here I have a frame, and this frame holds another blue frame and an ellipse. And here I have the same setup, but this is a group, as you can see in the Layers panel. Now I can move them as a group, so this is what I'm after, and I could even place them into another frame. So let's say drawing a frame around them, then you can see both of them sit nicely inside of this frame, whether it's my nested frame or whether it's my nested group. So in the beginning, it seems like there isn't much of a difference, so why not just go for this one? And it's true, when I start designing, sometimes I actually use groups. They're somehow faster and easier to manage at the beginning. So if I do a quick draft of something, I often start with groups. You actually don't need to worry, because even if you have a group, you could always convert this into a frame later simply by using the drop-down menu on the right-hand side, and you could always convert any frame back into a group if for whatever reason you wanted to. So in the beginning, don't stress yourself too much about how you need to set all of this up. It's going to come to you once you move on to the more advanced things like auto layout and design with components, as well as prototyping, where you're going to notice that you're simply going to need a frame, or Figma is even going to give you a hand and convert everything into frames for you when needed. Let's still try to get in a habit of working with frames. So for now, just a few basic differences that you might notice right away. The first one is, if I have a frame, then you can see on the right-hand side, I get this little box I can tick, which is called Clip Content. Now, Clip Content is really handy, especially because we're using the frame to represent our viewport or our device size. And therefore, we're going to have content that overflows. So this is something that later with prototyping we might want to animate, but in the beginning we don't want to see all of this overflow. So it's really handy that we can show and hide this. I can't do that on a group. You're also going to notice that if you want to use this as your background, let's say we're just resizing this one here, then we have exactly the same look. So if we're using this, then we're missing some features. Have a look if I switch over to the frame. So you'll see I'm getting much more features like layout grids and all of these different selections. So here I'm getting quite a few. I could, for example, add auto layout, something we're going to do later on. And if I take it off, you'll notice that Figma was nice enough to convert this into a frame for me. So rather than stressing about the right approach, I recommend just jump in, get some practice, and once you reach the more advanced features, it's going to all fall into place.